Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends.
Disney's new Snow White is facing massive backlash, but you won't believe the meltdown that happened behind the scenes. One so intense, insiders are calling it a total catastrophe. Word is, a certain leading lady lost her cool so spectacularly that even the dwarfs are ready to stage a walkout. And guess what? That's just the appetizer. Stick around, because this fairy tale flop is about to spill way more tea than even the most jaded Disney fans saw coming.
Rachel Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie. She's literally the only person there. Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Chicken
Remember when Snow White was that adorable apple-munching princess who batted her eyelashes at forest critters and never offended anyone? Yeah, those were simpler times. Now, Disney's decided to yank her from the quaint cottage and toss her into the pit of modern-day controversies. Word on the street is that this new live-action take has more changes than your average streaming service terms of use, and we all know how excited people get about that. Early leaks claimed the script basically gave our sweet princess a megaphone to lecture the forest friends, on, let's say, a very important message, whether we asked for it or not. Cue the collective eye roll from fans who just wanted to relive some old-school magic.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist, who's just clinical at this point, saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
But hold on, because that's just the opening act. Rachel Zegler, the star tasked with embodying this iconic role, unknowingly kicked a hornet's nest when she teased that audiences would love the big changes. And by teased, I mean, she sort of told people to deal with it, which is always a smooth move in the land of Twitter. Classic. Combine that with whispers of entire scenes being reshot to fit a fresh perspective, and you've got longtime Disney lovers bracing themselves like they're on a shaky roller coaster. Let's just say, if you thought tampering with a beloved childhood story was bold, wait until you see how these rumors turned up the heat, because we're only getting started. This all might sound like your average fan base freaks out scenario, but oh no, this meltdown is already more dramatic than any telenovela you've binge-watched at 2 a.m. Word has it that early test audiences were so baffled by the film's direction, they wondered if they'd stumbled into some experimental art piece. Heavy themes, choppy pacing, and a sense that Disney was giving viewers a moral pep talk instead of a whimsical fairy tale. Yep, that's the trifecta of discontent. Nothing screams magical adventure, like a storyline that feels like a lengthy lecture from your least favorite college professor. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler's social media approach poured gasoline on the fire. Instead of pacifying concerned fans with behind-the-scenes tidbits, she posted snapshots of herself in an empty theater, effectively telling the world, I'm my own biggest fan, I guess.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Cue the collective cringe. The tension ballooned further when Bob Iger tried to reassure everyone that they had to modernize Snow White for today's audiences, like we needed a searing commentary on societal issues, couched in 1930s fairy tale nostalgia. By this point, the drama was picking up speed faster than a speeding dwarf in a diamond minecart, and everyone was bracing for the next plot twist. Just when you thought the story couldn't get weirder, a pixelated competitor stepped onto the stage with the swagger of a creeper, sneaking up on you in the dark. The Minecraft movie, of all things, emerged as the surprising champion of family-friendly box office domination. With minimal fuss and zero moralizing, this blocky underdog snatched headlines, basically building a Tower of Babel out of box office receipts, while Snow White was still trying to figure out what color her new corset should be.
It is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with the message.
Who knew that audiences preferred a bunch of square sheep to a reimagined princess borderline, scolding them for not being progressive enough? What's more, Minecraft's success acted like a giant magnifying glass over Disney's fiasco, spotlighting how a straightforward approach, free of forced messages, can rake in the cash. Kids laughed, adults felt the nostalgia from those late-night building sprees, and critics gave it a decent nod, all without some explosive meltdown behind the scenes. Meanwhile, poor Snow White was left hobbling along, trying not to break a glass slipper that probably wasn't even hers to begin with. If you think this is the end of the story, think again, because the real scandal arrives in the form of a certain comedic rock star who's about to turn up the temperature on this fairy tale meltdown. Now, imagine you're on the Snow White set, tension so thick you could slice it with that poisoned apple. Enter Jack Black of Tenacious D and countless comedic hits. According to Hushed Whispers, our favorite rock-fueled funny man decided he couldn't just stand by, while Rachel Zegler waved off critics like they were spam emails. Allegedly, he came in hot, questioning whether calling unhappy fans trolls or haters was the slickest PR move. Picture Jack Black's signature goofy grin morphing into a look of stern disapproval. It's enough to send a chill down even the boldest influencer's spine. Word on the grapevine says Zegler did not take kindly to being called out. Suddenly, you've got a star who's already on edge from social media, backlash, and messy reshoots, getting confronted by Hollywood's beloved jester. The vibe, as rumor has it, went from zero to nuclear in record time. Like someone installed TNT blocks in the Snow White script. If this showdown actually happened, it's not just a run-of-the-mill celebrity spat. It's a brilliant reflection of the behind-the-scenes chaos that's turning this remake into an unintentional comedic masterpiece. But let's be honest, you're not here to watch the fireworks fizzle out, you want to see them explode. So buckle up, because the meltdown story is where things go from uh-oh to somebody call a therapist. Alright, here's where the fairy dust really hits the fan. Picture Rachel Zegler, fresh off her lone person in the theater. Stunt, already juggling a heap of criticism from diehard Disney purists and disgruntled test audiences. Now throw in the rumored Jack Black confrontation, and you've got the perfect storm for a theatrical breakdown that could rival any Shakespearean tragedy. Minus the poetic monologues, but hey, who needs iambic pentameter when you've got social media? Whispers suggest Zegler was so overwhelmed she may have had a full-on emotional collapse, tears and all in front of the crew. Let's just say the magic mirror probably would have begged for a day off right about then. Naturally, Bob Iger tried to swoop in with some corporate positivity, insisting that true fans will understand and embrace the changes made to Snow White. If by true fans he meant the 10 people left who aren't actively raging on Twitter, then sure, Bob, have at it. Meanwhile, the internet continued feasting on meltdown rumors like they were Thanksgiving leftovers. Every retweet, every out-of-context snippet made the whole scenario spiral further, turning one rumored emotional blow-up into the kind of legend that'll likely outlive the actual film. People don't just want the tea anymore, they want the entire teapot, the saucers, and the fancy doilies. And trust me, the meltdown coverage is so juicy, it might even overshadow whatever is about to go down in the final act. That's the meltdown that turned a sweet Disney classic into a headline train wreck. But if you think we're done stirring the cauldron, you clearly don't know this channel. Hit that subscribe button and brace yourself, because the next chapter might be even more unhinged.